I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and this is Equal Entertainment. Police have identified the remains found on a trail in California as that of British actor Julian Sands. Sands went missing in January. His body was found on June 24th in the area where he was last known to be. Sands was hiking in the San Gabriel Mountains. San Bernardino Sheriff's deputies are investigating the cause of death. Sands is best known for his roles in Ocean's 13, A Room with a View, and the very queer-themed Gothic. He also appeared in TV shows like 24 and Smallville. The DC Universe now has new heroes, a new Superman and a new Lois Lane. David Cornsweet will play Superman and Rachel Brosnahan will play Lois Lane in Superman Legacy. Cornsweet has had roles in Ryan Murphy's The Politician and Hollywood, and fans know Brosnahan from the Emmy-winning series The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and House of Cards. Superman Legacy is slated to premiere in 2025. The artists on the new Spider-Verse movie are speaking out about the unsustainable working conditions. 4 artists on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse are alleging they worked 11-hour days and 7-day work weeks for over a year. They shared this through Vulture's Anonymous in Hollywood. One artist said more than 100 people left the project because they couldn't take it. The next Spider-Verse movie is set to premiere next year, and artists say there's no way it can be done by then. Joyride is set to drive into theaters next week, and the cast gathered on the red carpet in Los Angeles to share what moviegoers can expect from this wild adventure.
You know, we first set out to write a movie that was going to be insanely entertaining, to blow the roof off the place. But at its heart, it's a story about belonging. And it's not just about the Asian American experience. It's really for anyone who has felt like they did not quite belong, whether it's because of their sexuality, their gender, their race, their ethnic background. You know, it's just like the world did not feel like it was there for you. This story is about finding your people, and that once you have your people, you know you're home.
You know, this film is funny first, and we just happen to be Asian. These cultural specifics on the big screen are so special to us.
And we would just go out to dinner and just share these ridiculous stories about our friends and their dating and their messy lives. And we thought, you know what? We're professional writers. Let's go out and let's write the kind of movie that we wish we had. And so that's where it all came from.
Yeah, which it was just fun at first. We never thought anyone would actually make it.
The fact that people are laughing during the movie, but then also crying during some moments in the movie has been very important to us. Like sort of the emotional core, that spine, the story part of the movie was something that was there from the beginning and that we kept through all the way to the end. And yes, we piled a bunch of jokes on top of it, but the fact that it is hitting people here when they come out of it has been an awesome thing to see.
I have never read a script so fast. I've never laughed so much, and I cried so much while reading it.
But, I think it was just so organic because we were doing something so special for the first time together, which is why, we felt that through the journey.
And so I think right out the gate when they casted us, we had a natural chemistry. But then we went through, we would go out and almost get kicked out at every restaurant because we would eat like crazy and talk like crazy, and just there is trauma bonding as you are filming a movie. And so I just think as we were getting to know each other and spending more and more time together, the writers were hanging out with us, that group dynamic started to bleed into the characters and into the filming.
To play such multi-dimensional characters is so rare for people, in my skin. Start this rumor. That, the fact that I'm a queer, immigrant, Chinese American woman, it's such a refreshing feeling, to be able to, express all these layers on the screen.
Everybody can kind of relate to that feeling of not knowing where you belong or where you fit and feeling like there's a missing piece somewhere, whether it's the specifics of this story or, other people's personal stories, and trying to find where you fit.
That's what we want. We want people to be on a certain vibration and good spirits, and I think this is one of those movies that just allow you to walk in and let your guard down and have fun.
The new book, Young Queer America, Real Stories and Faces of LGBTQ+ Youth, is highlighting stories of perseverance as the nation sees a wave of anti-LGBTQ+ bills.
Why did you want to tell these stories of young queer America? What kind of larger purpose does that serve in terms of visibility? And because there is an element to this that is very kind of socio-political, I think, even though it's art.
No, exactly. I originally started the idea in this project because I was the only openly gay kid in my town when I came out in high school. I grew up in Utah. I grew up LDS. I came out in high school, like I said, and I was the only openly gay kid that was out in my town. I had no one to talk to. I felt isolated. I felt alone. So I just wish that when I was 18 and under that I had a book like this. I had the opportunity to see faces who had similar stories to me and to help me feel like I had community. I just felt like it just needed to happen. And also, while doing this project, I learned that, well, these kids are so well versed, they're so smart beyond their years. And they all just feel so alone and isolated when it can be so easy to connect them and help them see each other and feel seen and feel amplified. So, they might be young advocates, but they're already changing their communities in more ways than you'd think.
Yeah, incredible. Would you share any story that you heard or maybe someone you encountered that surprised you or moved you in a way that you hadn't anticipated?
Because I've already done this project for so long before this book, I had already kind of uh, what I'm trying to say is like every single kid offers some unique experience in their story that has surprised me and that has changed the way that I see the world. I always love to say that like you're born to love and you're taught to hate. These kids are still so young and they really see so much truth. Um, but if I'm picking specifics, I really felt inspired and changed by so many of these kids that had no support system. There's a few kids in the book that are from were raised in foster care, and they didn't have parents to look up to or to talk to, or even family to come out to, and they had to do so much more self-discovery than you would think, not only with finding out about their queerness, but finding out who they are as just a person in society and how they were going to find community. There's another kid in the book who was kicked out by his parents and has been on his own since he was 16. And, another youth whose mom didn't want him. And he was raised by his grandfather who doesn't understand anything about the trans community and the queer community, but he's still so happy and he's still so just bright and positive, So I really am just like so surprised by, even though all of these hardships have happened with all of these kids, that they still just are such happy people fighting for just basic rights.
Young Queer America is now available. Brittney Griner has been named as a starter for the WNBA All-Star Game. The Phoenix Mercury center has played in the past 9 All-Star games except for last year's. She missed that one because it happened during the nearly 300 days she was detained in Russia. Griner shared her excitement to be on the floor with the league's best once again.
I'm honored to anytime that I get voted in to All-Star. I know it's going to be a great time. All-Star is an amazing game because we're normally going against each other, and now we're all together. So it'll be really good.
With 9 All-Star games under her belt, Griner has appeared in more of the games than any other starter at this year's contest. The WNBA All-Star Game will take place July 15th in Las Vegas. You can watch the Advocate Channel live by downloading our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and thank you for watching.